Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are now listening to That Infernal Noise podcast, part of the Mental Health News Radio Network. Fuck yeah. Hello, everyone. We are back. We have another episode, and who knows what shenanigans will pop up. I mean, I'll probably cry. If you're betting, just put money on me crying. It's a safe bet. But yeah, we're back.
And it has been a hellacious week, month, year.
Yeah, pretty much. It is the end of May. We just had our second kid graduate high school. We had our youngest leave elementary school. Like we're in the parental home stretch now. And it's bittersweet doesn't even encapsulate correctly. It just doesn't do it justice, I think.
Back up. I don't care if you're up here. Sit. There you go. Because she was getting in and the angle, it's like her head's covering up me.
Oh.
So, yeah, it's surreal. Because we figured out we've had kids for what, 13 years?
Yeah, this was the end of our 13th year there. The senior that just graduated started kindergarten there. And now our youngest kid finished 5th grade there. So it's been a minute that we've been there. So yeah, it's been a whirlwind. Like, we already had one graduate, and so like we've been through the graduation process before, which is fine. But this time it was like harder
Because there was so much more to it.
Yeah, there was so much more. Like so much more. And
Kaylee can't talk shit about not having a graduation ever now.
she will. She still will. You know,
yeah,
she
but she
still
got
will.
the big one now, so she can.
You know she won't.
Well, yeah, that's probably true.
I'm just saying.
Maybe it's not.
You know? I should have locked one of these wheels. Ooh, I can. Right there. Boom. Let me find the other one to lock.
It's on the other side.
Oh, that did not feel good on my knee. There we go. Now I won't slide around as much.
Those look like rollerblade wheels.
They are.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They're advertised that way. That they have rollerblade wheels. Easy for me to say, I know, right? So yeah, it's just been and then this past week was the last week of school. Everything everyone
Kaylee had fucking everything going on.
Rehearsals.
It seemed like every day. Well, it not seemed like it was every day.
Yeah, because she had rehearsals Monday through Wednesday. Last day of school was Thursday. They had senior directs on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Friday we had an off day.
Kind of. Because we were all stressed about the
next day. But it was Gabby's birthday, and I took her and Kaylee out and spent time with the both of them, which was really fun and I think really needed for me. I don't know. I can't speak for anyone else, obviously, but I would like
Gabby
to think that everyone
seems like she had fun.
Yeah,
has fun with you, and I know Kaylee did because she mentioned it. So
okay. Well, that's good. I had fun. And then Saturday was just a clusterfuck because you have to deal with graduation and getting people to places at certain times and dealing with the masses and
not the masses.
And people who aren't part of the masses but are the masses that I wish were still part of the masses and not part of the group. But whatever.
Anyway.
It is what it is. Mm-hmm. Joe told me before Chris graduated that we have to like the relationship of transitioning a school age child to an adult child You're no longer the manager of their life, but an interested party. And that is for the fucking birds. That shit is rough.
We've learned that over the past 2 years for sure.
Definitely. You can't, it's weird. I don't want to say control, but you have control over these bodies for however long. And if they fuck up, it's your ass. And then out of nowhere, they just turn a certain age and then poof, you're like, you're not a kid anymore? Like, how are you not a kid anymore? Like, I think of myself at 18 and I'm like, why was I like that? Like, oh my God. Holy shit. Why was I doing the things I was doing?
And luckily, we come out pretty unscathed so far with the older two.
Yeah, luckily.
So.
I think we have a set of 2 sets, I should say.
We literally have 2 sets of kids.
That are, like, equal distant, like, age-wise, all of it. Like, it's there. But it's just, I think we have good kids, and I think we've done a pretty good job. And I was talking to Grandpa on the phone earlier, and I was like, oh, even if there was no money in there, she would still appreciate and keep that card. And he was like, oh, well, you've done a good job then. Because I don't have greedy fucking kids who expect money from people.
You'd be surprised.
Hey, it is what it is. Well, I said thank you. I didn't, like, try to, like, push off the compliment or anything like that, because I do that sometimes. And
you do that sometimes. A lot of times.
I've seen me do it. Yeah, so it's just been a lot of tears shed, which is not fun, but I'm a crier, so it's easy for me to cry, and I hate it. But it is what it is.
How are you feeling about all of it? All of the change that's happening right now, and has been for quite some time. You fucker. I knew she was going to end up hitting it at some point.
Do you need to fix it?
No, it's fine.
Okay. I'm feeling... She's like, nope, I'm gonna just go sit my ass over here.
I'm be a good girl like you wanted, Daddy.
Sorry, I know we were having a whole ass conversation. Let me help her real quick. Here, BB.
She looks confused.
She is.
She's like, shit. You might want to get the pillow out from her butt. There you go.
Oh, sorry if I hit the camera too. There you go. Should be a good girl.
And if it's too bad, all I have to do is splice the video and then
move it.
Yeah,
no, okay.
It's not a big deal.
I'm feeling lost right now. Lost is the best word, because it is sad and it is bittersweet, and bittersweet just doesn't, I need to find a better word. I need to do some research on words, because bittersweet just doesn't cut it.
Because it sounds kind of like,
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, there is nothing about this. It's very, very not that.
Bitter is not the word. I don't know exactly how to describe it. Bittersweet is the best way I can put it, but to the extremes of bittersweet, because this is heartbreaking. You literally do everything for these people. And I have to, they're people, like our children are people, obviously. You know, I'm just speaking from my perspective. So when I say I or me or anything like that. And I know that you know that, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows that I'm not saying that none of the other parents did anything or nothing like that. I'm just speaking my experience. I have done so much for 5 people over the past 12 years. And then, not that I'll never be needed. It's not that. Because I know I will be, and it's not going to be oh, can you take me to rehearsal? Or can you take me to this, Logan's going to be in band, so band practice. Or, if Noe, rehearsals with, or an art show or whatever the case is, It won't be that, but it'll be more life stuff. And I'm all for that. But you do so much day in, day out. And somebody who has a neurodivergent brain, it's not habits. Nothing is a habit for me. The only thing that are habits for me are blinking, going to the bathroom, breathing.
But see, those aren't habits.
And those are autonomic.
Yeah.
Those are automatic shits that happen. Everything else, not a habit for me. Everything is a task. Everything is a task. Showering, brushing my teeth, brushing my hair, putting different socks on, changing clothes. Everything is a task. So the past 12 years have been a task, and not that one that I took lightly, and not that I was like, oh, I'll put parenting off, or, So it's been a lot. And for someone to just all of a sudden not need you to do the things that you've done for the past 12 years, it's really gutting. And for a parent who, I've worked off and on, and I'm working full time now, and, but for the past 12 years, by and large, I haven't worked full time. So on top of dealing with not working and feeling like a bad person for not working, I'm trying my hardest with, with kids and doing my best, and then trying to be a good wife and a good housekeeper, and I get this and I get that. And then you just get to a point where they're like, oh no, we're good. What do you mean you're good? What do you mean that you could just do this shit by yourself? You can't tie your shoes. Sit the fuck down. No, you know what I mean? It's gutting. But on the flip side of that, the sweet side of the bittersweet, it's like, oh, not only is it the pride of that person that you helped mold and create, you're so proud of them. Because yes, we guide them and we teach them and we raise them. But ultimately, it's just like any mental health or addiction or anything else. That person has to do the work. Mm-hmm. We can get onto them about their grades or the decisions they make or whatever.
Any relationship,
anything,
whatever.
Any relationship,
we can voice our opinions, but ultimately,
it's their choices and it's their life and it's their choices that they make. And you are proud of them for becoming fucking great people. And you're happy. And for people, and this is for me specifically, a lot of my parenting was me reparenting myself at the same time.
Even if you don't have the reparenting aspect, you're still parenting yourself. You're still figuring it out as you're raising kids.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Yeah, and I just had to do double duty. I had to raise myself or I had to raise myself correctly while I was trying to raise myself or my children correctly. Mm-hmm. Or as correct as I could.
See, we had to reparent ourselves actively while they were growing up.
Yes. And
unfortunately.
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but, it wasn't our fault or it wasn't my fault that I was raised by a she-wolf. I don't know how else to put that. I don't think you should
insult she-wolves like that.
That's fair. But you know what I mean.
Those are the loyalist bitches you'll ever find.
Oh, you know what? That's right. And whatever it is. But with the reparenting part of that, not only are you proud of them for who they are, it's another bittersweet part of it. But it's like, oh, I see what I could have been mentally, where I could have been mentally, what I could have accomplished if I had certain things, if I,
certain encouragements.
Yeah. Like, if I didn't have to deal with some of the bullshit I had to deal with, okay, let me correct myself there. If I didn't have to deal with any of the bullshit I had to deal with, because all of it was bullshit that I did not need to deal with, and it sucks slightly, because it's like, fuck, I deserved that. But then it's like, cool, I could have been that. Cool. But I get to be the mom of that, and I'm perfectly okay with that. It's just, this is hard. It's just hard.
Puts a mirror up to everything.
Yeah. It's, I because of my trauma, I struggle with, value coming from productivity. So what am I doing? What can I do? What else could I have done? Things like that. So when I am no longer needed, when the service is no longer, when I feel that there's no longer a need for me, I get very scared and I get very sad and get a lot of anxiety from it, because the vast majority of people that I've dealt with in my life, once I no longer provided what they needed from me, they left. So,
which is shit.
And that's including my mother. Like, she didn't want me setting boundaries. She didn't want me to not do things her way. And I no longer speak to her because of the hellish, outlandish, hellacious things she said to me. And that she lied to me about, So it's even more scary when it's your kids or your family. You know what I mean? It's just scary. But luckily, I did not raise the family I was brought up in. So
thank fuck for that.
I would like to think that just because they're not in school anymore and may not need me to be the chauffeur, the this, the that, the all of the school age mom things. And that's what that's what I struggle with the most. That's my biggest fear of all this, is not being needed. And I know that's a me issue, and I know that my value doesn't come from what I can give. It's still not the best feeling in the world. But I know that's not the case, is that, Chris and Patty still come to visit. We still hang out with them. They still talk to us, so I know that Kaylee won't. I know Kaylee won't completely disappear off the face of the planet in the fall when she goes to college, or when she moves out or anything like that. It's just gutting is the best term, because it is.
You spent so much time trying to get close to Kaylee,
and now she's moving away.
Butting heads and all of that shit. I'd like to think I had a little hand in that whenever I made y'all realize that y'all fight so much because y'all are so much fucking alike.
Yeah.
Because I've always maintained that she doesn't act like a Scorpio, she acts like a Pisces.
I think so. But
and I know there's not, like, whatever. Everybody can have their opinions on the astrology thing, but I do see
there are similarities. It's just...
Because you look at me and Chris, there's a lot of similarities there. You look at Mandy and Noe, there's a lot of similarities there. You look at Gabriel and Logan, there's a lot of similarities there. Kaylee seems more like you in that aspect.
Yeah.
And she's on the opposite side of the fucking calendar. So,
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's just scary for me more so, I guess. But I have to trust the universe and pray for the best. And be there when, especially when we have an empty nest, be there for them when they need us, give our opinion and continue treating them like the humans that they are, with respect, and let them have autonomy of their bodies and how they dress. I know much won't change outside of them coming home every day. So.
But that's the hard part.
It really is. Because I miss Chris all the time, and I tell him that all the time, and I hope it doesn't bother him. Because I hope he knows.
I don't think it does.
Because, I just have to give him a big hug and say, I miss you so much all the time. Because I do miss him all the time. And like I told Kaylee, I'm just not quite ready to miss her yet.
You actually told her that?
Yeah. I just said I'm not ready yet to miss you. I'm just not. I'm not ready to miss another kid yet because I already missed one. So.
Well, God willing, we'll miss all four of them at some point.
Yeah, we will. And I know that that's part of life, and that, we'll enter a new stage. Because, honestly, and I was telling you this the other day, like, being a mom is not fun. It's not. And I know somebody might say something about it, but it's not. It's not fun.
It's the biggest fucking beating ever.
I would do it again for my kids.
100%. I'd be a dad over and over again, but it's a thankless fucking job.
Gut-wrenching, thankless.
Because, our older kids, they're getting to the point where they realize certain things, and they've said and expressed certain thanks and whatnot and appreciation. But when they're going through it, when you're going through it, and they're younger, there's none of that.
Yeah, no.
Because they don't have the perspective yet.
We're the bad guys.
And sometimes I was, admittedly. I didn't know how to fucking do shit right.
Well,
still learning.
Well, that is perspective, too. Some things that we are the bad guys on, we're not actually being the bad guys.
No, I understand that, but there were some times that I was the bad guy as well. And I own that now.
Yeah. And you've talked to them about it. But yeah, it's just, thankfully we have 5 more years before we have to deal with another graduation. So maybe I'll have some time to fucking, I doubt it, but.
We thought we had a lot of time from Chris's to Kaylee's, and it seemed like it flew the fuck by.
It did. Like a lot. So that's a plus to them getting older, is that I won't have to be a school. Okay, let me rephrase my previous statement. It's not fun being a school-aged mom.
Yeah, because I would say you have more fun being around Chris now.
Because there's a shift.
And
there's
you don't have to parent. You don't have.
Yes,
you just
because
get to
they're adults.
Enjoy your kid.
Because I'm an interested party, not manager. I don't have to be like, I love you, and I'll always love you.
Advice,
no matter.
if you need,
I'm here.
Let me know. But
it doesn't have to be like, if Chris starts yelling at someone, I don't have to be like, shh, we're in public. It's like,
bruh,
whoever that is over there done fucked up because my son is yelling at them in public. You see, there's a
Yeah.
difference, and I'm tired of being the bitch. I'm tired of being the school-age mom. Come on, I already fucking told you to clean your room. Come on, are you serious?
The amount of times we've had to say that in the past, well, for me, 20 fucking years is goddamn ridiculous.
Oh, or this one, and you decided to wait until last minute.
All of them. But in all fairness, we have been known to do that same thing sometimes. We've gotten way better about it, and they have too, in all fairness.
Fair,
But
that phrase can rot in hell. Excuse me?
I mean, it was definitely a burp.
Yes, excuse me. Yeah, it's just sad and scary. I didn't want to spill my drink. Do you have more questions for me?
I don't know. I'm kind of in the same boat you are. Except mine is a little, well, it's not a little different. It's different because it's me versus you. And
Well, yeah, and that you've been there since day one. I haven't
that
been.
doesn't,
And
that doesn't even factor into this. That really doesn't. It's just, I've spent so much time repairing my relationship with Kaylee. And it's just, it sucks. Like, I'm not ready for it. And I'm not ready for her to be an adult. I was ready for Chris to be an adult because he was chomping at the bit from the time he was fucking 15.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was ready to hit the ground running type shit.
Yeah.
He's regretting that now, but like, Kaylee's always been the other one. She's been the one, like, I don't want to leave. I don't want to do any of that shit. I don't want to grow up. I don't.
And here she is, graduated, grown up, fibber.
She said she didn't want to. She didn't say she wasn't going to.
Oh, valid and fair.
And it's just, there's so much to deal with that. Like, Chris transitioning into an adult was fairly easy because not a whole lot changed in mine and his relationship. You know what I mean? It's like he and I always had that, like, oh, that's my homeboy fucking vibe.
Yeah.
Because we talk about music and fucking comics and whatever the fuck. I talk about the same shit with him that I talk about with Gable.
Yes.
He talks about the same shit with me that he talks about with his friends.
Yes.
That type of shit.
Yes.
But Kaylee and I don't have that relationship. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just we have very
different.
much a daddy-daughter relationship.
Yeah.
Where there's certain things that I say them to mortify her sometimes. But by and large, I try not to make her uncomfortable by the shit that I say.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it.
I understand what you're saying, though. Because even you and Noe's relationship is
It's different. It's more like me and Chris's.
Yeah,
It's like,
because Noe is Noe. Mm-hmm. And not like Kaylee. Kaylee's the only daddy's girl.
yeah, and that's fucking difficult for
Yeah.
me. It's just, it sucks. You know, I can't see her as an adult. Like, literally, whenever I think of her, I don't see her now. I see her as a kid. And I've said that before.
Yeah. I see her now. I see all of them as they are now.
See, I don't. I see them as the toddlers running around, causing all kinds of fucking hell. I really do. Like, that's the mental image I have of the four of them. Which is weird because they were all toddlers at different fucking points. But
yeah. I don't know. I don't know why you see them, or why I see them as adults. Because I've heard that a lot, you know? Or I see them as they are. Like, I could think of each one of them in my head.
Every time I think of each one of them, I think of that smaller version.
Oh, yeah, no. If
I always have.
In my mind's eye, like, if I think of Chris, I see him now. If I think of Kaylee, I see her now.
I have to think about it actively to see them now.
Oh.
Like, I have to think of a specific memory in order to see them through that lens. Which is weird.
It's probably
because you know
not
my
uncommon.
memory. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I can recall everything in great detail. But for some reason, that is still the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it's harder with her because she's my oldest daughter. Like, we've always had a different relationship compared to
You and Chris.
her siblings.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the siblings in general.
That's fair.
You know, and it's just, I don't know. I had to change a lot for her. And I don't say that as like it's a bad thing. It just, I really had to be a girl dad with her.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be as
Hard-nosed.
blue or hard-nosed or anything like I was with Chris.
Yeah.
Because he understands all of that. You know, like Kaylee would get her feelings hurt about shit like that. And rightfully so. I'm saying fucked up shit. I get it. But it's just odd to be a girl dad for so long. And now it's just like, no. Like, oh, okay. I'm over here if you need me, I guess. I don't know.
It's not fun. Oh. My bad.
That's why I'm glad I kind of got that moment with her for graduation. It's like it was just like she and I locked eyes while I was recording her, and it was, I don't know. It felt important, that moment, to me. And I was the first one to hug her because I fucking karate chopped Logan in the face.
Good.
I didn't mean to. He was trying to run up to hug Kaylee, and obviously we were all separated, so he and I were going and waiting for them after they were coming out. And he tried to cut in front of me, and I just threw my hand down aggressively, and I ended up chopping him in the fucking face. He was like, ah! I was like, nobody's getting a hug before me. Fuck off.
I'm glad you got that moment.
I felt greedy doing it, but
well, I couldn't because we weren't sitting with each other, so I had to.
That's a whole nother fucking thing.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut about that one.
On the podcast.
Yep. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about that one.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So yeah, like literally no one else could have done. I mean, yeah.
It was just important to me because she felt like I didn't care for the longest time, which was never the case.
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to parent her correctly. You know, and she took umbrage with a lot of things that I said and how I acted, not realizing why I was acting that way.
Yeah.
And then as she's gotten older, she's gotten it. And I feel like we finally fucking understand each other. And now it's like, okay, she's going off to college. I'm like, oh, fuck. Great.
But at least you guys have the future going forward to maintain and build on that relationship.
Yeah. It's a kick in the dick for sure.
Definitely.
Because you spend all that time cultivating that relationship and raising them and all of that shit. And then,
Yoink.
oh yeah, I'm out. Like, Cool.
And I know this again.
And that's
I know
that's
this
the way
is
it's supposed to
normal.
happen.
Yeah.
That's the way it's supposed to happen. I get that, but especially whenever, like with us, we've been going through so many of these growth periods and trying to understand ourselves and our mentalities and get better and what the fuck ever. And it's just another thing we have to fucking deal with.
Yeah, that's valid. Very, very valid. It's just rough. Like this week has been like 17 weeks in a week.
It seemed a lot longer than it actually was, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Where's your mind going?
Just kind of replaying the events of the week, and it's a lot. It's just a lot. I don't know. It's just, you know how we're not the suck it up people anymore. And I feel like I just need to suck it up.
But you don't need to.
I just mean in general, like by and large. Just, and I don't mean suck it up in like a unhealthy, toxic way. I just mean this is life. This is what it is.
You don't seem thrilled about it.
It's scary and painful, and so yeah, from the looks of, I mean, like, I know I'll get past it, and I'll, you know, I know I will. We did it with Chris, you know, I'll be okay. It's just not fun. It's not something that makes you want to smile. It's not something that makes you want to.
But I feel like you've been forcing yourself to do that anyway. Because that's a slippery slope for you.
It is, and I see, I understand, and I see what you're saying. But I think if as long as ow, fucking shit, my knee, sorry. I think if I still continue to talk about my feelings honestly, and if I have to fake it till I make it, but like in public, like in front of other, like the masses, like if I have to, like, I'm okay with doing that. But as long as
watching you do that smile breaks my fucking heart, by the way, because I know how fake it is.
Yeah. And I just don't, I just, as long as I still have space to talk about how I'm feeling, I don't think it'll be as slippery of a slope as it used to be. Because I'm not saying that it never was, because it was. I would just, everything's fine. Where are we going? What are you doing? Nope, you good? I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good. Let's go. The next thing? Come on, let's go. You know, it's, there's no other, like, I'm going to sound like Kaylee and Tomlinson. Whatever fucking option do I have? I mean, but, and I know it's not an extreme like that, where it's like, you have no other fucking choice. You have, no, you know? I don't want it to sound like a negative thing, but this is part of life. We have to grow and do the things. We have to go through the things. And I know I'll smile normally again one day. Just right now. Like, and there are genuine smiles. I'm not saying that there's not. But, I mean, like, I don't even know how to put it. Do you kind of understand where I'm going, though?
I get what you're saying.
Like, I'm not, you know me, I'm like, smiley, and I'm gonna, I swear, if someone tells me, hey, maybe you should smile, I'm going to deck a motherfucker.
You shouldn't have said that out loud, because now it's going to happen for sure.
Probably. But, like...
Hell, Gabriel will probably do it just to get under your skin.
Probably. I don't even know if he listens, so he might not even hear this.
Yeah, but he likes doing shit like that.
Oh, yeah, he'll do that on his own accord and just be a dick. Like, that's... If someone I don't know fucking tells me to smile, because I'm not... I have resting bitch face. If I'm not smiling, it looks like something's wrong. And I'm just going to have to get used to the fact that people are going to ask me, what's wrong? You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Like, I'm okay. Like, just because I'm not smiling or like...
Yeah, but I know the difference.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, as long as I have a space to talk about how I'm actually feeling, then this is what it has to be right now. There's... It's either that or I plaster a smile on my face.
I don't want that.
And you don't want that. So I'm not saying it's forever. I mean, it just happened 2 days ago. So, I mean, and I was like this with Chris, where it's just like, you don't feel like smiling. You don't feel like...
You're grieving.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is. It's grieving.
Yeah. And,
different way, but...
Yeah. Well, I'm used to living grieving. Or grieving the living.
That doesn't make me feel better.
But you know what I mean? It's not... I'll be okay. I always have been. I always will be. It's getting there. But I know I have a great support system and people to talk to. And I know that you'll listen to me every day, all day. So but just so everyone who is listening, if you see me and I'm not smiling, that's fine. It's okay for people to not smile. It's okay for me to just have my face. No? Okay, you know what smile you're getting then.
Yeah, I don't do that. Okay, well, to steal from Sickler, I'm going to change it a little bit since Kaylee just graduated and is 18. What would you tell your 18-year-old self after they walked across the stage?
Run far and fast. Run far, fast. Start therapy. Choose yourself every time. To choose yourself. To applaud yourself. Because I hate to steal from Kevin Smith, but if you don't celebrate yourself in this life, no one fucking will. And I don't mean that as in my support group hasn't celebrated me or, you know, or that.
It doesn't matter if you don't celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
I got you.
That's what I would tell.
It's the same thing I've told Kaylee. Is like, I'm your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like, and I am.
That is.
But ultimately, I can gas you up all the fuck I want.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to drive, you ain't gonna.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be it. To just choose myself and to make myself happy. Because if I would have started doing that at 18, a lot of the heartache that I've had to deal with in the past, more so the
20 years.
Well, 38 years.
Well, I'm saying 18.
Well, yeah, from 18. Yeah, the past 20 years, a lot of pain that I've been in, a lot of hurt that I've dealt with, a lot of, like, I just wouldn't have had to deal with it if I would have started choosing myself
At such a young age.
at a young age, and if I would have started therapy at a younger age. But I'm glad I have the knowledge I have now, where I can try to help other people.
And the kids.
Oh, yeah, the kids were a given. That's why I didn't list them.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like we have that knowledge to be able to pass down to our children.
Yeah, definitely. And
they somehow ended up decently adjusted, so.
I would like to think so.
Kaylee would disagree, I'm sure.
Oh, of course. Of course she would. We will make it through this. We've made it through this once before. We will make it through it again. With Kaylee, and again with Noah, and again with Logan. Like, I get it. And I will be good. I need to get there. And since it was just this past week, like, you know what I mean? I'll be okay.
Not even a week ago.
Yeah, like, she graduated day before yesterday. Like, it is okay. But yeah. So anyone else who is out there who's feeling that way, just know that you are not alone. And you can always reach out to us and,
commiserate.
Huh?
Commiserate in this situation.
Yeah. And I'm still thinking about starting more of a grief support. Just because I think the more I see out there, the more I realize that that's what's needed, is that no one's dealing with their grief.
In any of its incarnations.
No. None of the stages of grief are being dealt with. It's all being shut down.
Well, I mean, the different experiences.
Oh, yeah. Because there's different kinds of grief. It's just so much. And
the loss of job, loss of relationship, loss of family member, death, like all of that shit. Like, there's so much to it.
Because the loss of family member is death and loss of relationship.
Well, it could just be loss of relationship, and then you have to deal with the grief of losing them for real.
Oh, yeah.
After that.
Yeah. It's
a complicated thing. It's a lot more complicated than I realized.
Yeah. There's good days, there's bad days, everything in between. And navigating this shit is fucking rough. And I feel that if people feel less alone about it, that it makes it just a hair easier. Drop a lube and a butt fucking of a life. Oh, I think I accidentally kicked your camera. I'm sorry. But yeah. So I'm still sitting on that. I haven't even looked into anything or.
We've had a lot going on.
Yeah. So if that happens, it'll be a future endeavor. It's not going to be
right this second.
And if anybody is listening that would be interested. Oh, I just realized I'm far away. So, yeah, if anybody would be interested in something like that, or, let us know. I am planning on doing it regardless if I get any feedback or not. But I think the two of us are very equipped to...
experienced.
To help. At least...
We've gone through just about every type of grief you can imagine.
Yeah.
With certain extremes not present, thankfully.
Yeah. Not anymore, anyway.
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, okay.
I'm not even going to say it out loud.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm good. If you don't want to say it out loud, that's probably for the best.
I ain't putting juju out there.
Yeah, no, let's not do that. Mm-mm. But yeah. And again, anybody who's struggling, you're not alone with anything. And I don't even mean just being a parent and dealing with life, just anything. Reach out. I don't even know you. I may not even know you.
Don't look at me when you say that. You do know me, motherfucker.
I mean, not you. I was just having a conversation with you. Almost dropped my cup. But like recently, I commented on a thing on Instagram, and it was just randomly, and someone reached out to me and was asking my advice and my experience in something, and I don't mind doing that. So even if I don't know you, message, hey, support needed, can be whatever title or, anything. Because as someone who has 0 relatives, and, we just lost mom and grandma the year before that, and
Jody before that.
Yeah, so we don't have a lot of people to
depend on in that way.
Rely on, things like that. So, and it's increasingly harder to do things like healing alone. So, we're here if you need us. So,
we're here, we're queer. Oh, like
everyone's a little bit, isn't they?
Depends on which group chat you look at as to how queer I am.
Oh, but there's always a little bit of queerness, though.
No, I know, but I'm just saying the level
varying
varies
levels.
Depending on who the messages
Oh,
are
yeah, definitely. I was just saying that we're all a little queer. At least a little bit. And if you don't think so, and if you are like, no, not me, I'm a little bit queer, you're lying to yourself, so get over it.
I like a big, hard, throbbing cat. I did not know that about myself.
Yeah. For all the guys out there who are like super straight, I'm no homo. Yeah. Imagine.
Do you only watch girl on girl? Do you only watch girl on girl?
Wiener. No, you don't want a small flaccid wiener in your porn, do you? No. You want to see a bitch getting railed. So don't play with me. Anyway.
Never had a comedy bit made so much sense to everybody.
Sense. It's like, oh yeah, we're all just a little bit gay, and that's all right. We love it. Anyway, all right, until next time, guys. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. If you like this episode or know someone who would, please help us grow the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. Keep up with all episodes on Buzzsprout or anywhere else you get your podcasts.
Tune in next week, folks. Same that time, same that channel.